welcome to Young Kids League the One YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
I want to speak to Your Honor in South Africa as you deliberate the issue of whether the UPND government should be given a chance to come and bury ECL here in Zambia, or that the ECL family should be allowed to decide. Your Honor, the issue that is there is that ECL and HH did not have a good relationship. They had a very bad relationship. In my own opinion, Your Honor, is because I believe that President HH decided to take whatever he believed ECL was responsible for to have happened to him when he was in opposition, to be blamed on ECL, and he couldn't get over it. Even though God had wiped away his tears and he had won the presidency, I feel HH could not get over it. So HH continued to really harass ECL. At every opportunity that he had. I would say right at the time when Rupiah Banda was trying to mediate a smooth transition between ECL and HH, we saw that during the time of taking pictures, the UPND went out in a frenzy trying to create an impression that ECL was trying to do something to harm HH at that point. We kind of like ignored it, but I noticed that was not right. Then after that, we also saw how every government minister, every cadre of the UPND and President HH himself, anytime they had to speak, they had to malign and disrespect ECL. ECL was quiet during that time. He wasn't saying anything, he was quiet. Yet the UPND made it a point to make him part of their conversations at all times. They were going after his wife, going after his children, on trumped-up charges. They say they stole. The issue is that they stole. What they stole, where they stole, nobody knows. In fact, the family apparently is supposed to prove that they did not steal where no one knows they stole. Okay? And the family members have said, look, this wealth I have, my husband is the one who gave me. My father is the one who gave me. And the UPND refused to take that explanation and call Issa and say, could you have amassed this wealth and been able to share it with your children? They refused and just maintained that they stole. But no one even knows where they stole. There's no gap where they can prove that here things were stolen. They can't. All they're saying is that the family must prove how they got the wealth. And when the family said, my father gifted me, it's not a good enough reason. How can that not be a good enough reason? So the UPND tortured ECL. And President HH is at the helm of that organization. When ECL needed to go for medical treatment in 2023, the UPND refused to allow him because they say they thought he was going for a political move. And today he has died because he went for late treatment and chances of survival were minimized. So clearly, obviously, in our brains, in our hearts, we feel the UPND is responsible and HH is at the helm of that UPND. We are human beings. You cannot deny us the opportunity of feeling what we have to feel. Now, the UPND is saying we should get over it and allow HH to bury his enemy. We can't get over it. It's impossible for us to sit in a room and have President HH try and say good things about ECL. Or is he coming to speak the wicked things he has been saying about ECL? President HH has never said anything good about ECL. That's why the only thing they're saying today is that he was the president and he was a statesman and he must be buried. But they have nothing good to say about that man. So why should they bury him, Your Honor? How much pain are we going to cause the family? The family have been directly hurt by President HH. Not only by what they have seen him doing to their father, but what he has put themselves through as a family. The family is angry, is hurt, Your Honor. Quite all right, the nation of Zambia has lost a former president, but it's our secondary loss. The family have lost somebody who was a primary member of their family, maybe a pillar of their family. They are the ones who are truly mourning. The rest of us, whatever we are feeling, the pain, we cannot imagine the pain the family is actually going through. And Your Honor, to be honest, by the UPND government, by their own admission, that they denied ECL earlier travel for treatment because they thought he was going for a political activity is their own admission that they have participated in his death. And that hurts and breaks the family. Your Honor, surely these are the people who should come and preside over the funeral of ECL. When the family of ECL tried, despite their pain and anger towards the UPND government, they still said, okay, fine, we'll bring the body and we want the body to be done like this and we'll bury like this, but this man should not be there. We had the UPND cadres begin to say how when the body comes, the army will take over. We started seeing a program that was including things that were not agreed upon. And it became clear that, oh my God, when the body comes, they will take over. And what would the family do to stop the government from taking over? These are people who cannot be trusted by what they say. Evidence is all over. That sadly for us as a people in this nation, our president's word means nothing. He will say one thing today and another. Evidence is all over. This is a president who was able to proudly come and say, I'll begin to prosecute and persecute people. What kind of a human being says that? Persecute people. You are proudly announcing that you will be persecuting people, and you're saying this in parliament. This is a leader we are dealing with who has persecuted the family. And today, Your Honor, you're supposed to allow them to come and bury. How bad? What cultural backing can you use, Your Honor, to allow an enemy to bury someone? Your Honor, we've had situations where there's been passion killings in our families. I lost a cousin who was killed by the husband. Though they both died the same day and were burying the same day, the funerals were never together. Though the family were not responsible for their son's action to kill my sister, my cousin, but they couldn't mourn with us. We're too angry, too hurt, and they understand that. They understood that. How can President HH fail to understand that? He cannot preside over the funeral of a man he clearly did not like. He hated him. He hated him. We have the right to create meaning to his behavior towards President Edgar Chagolungu late. We can say in my own words the way he behaved, President Hakainde Hichilema, he hated ECL. That's how I saw it, and I can qualify it. When ECL was being booed by UPND cadres during HH's inauguration, HH did not stop the people. HH left the inauguration ceremony and ECL left without being announced. HH and ECL come for a funeral for Lupia Bada. They're sitting next to each other, greeting each other cordially. HH stands up, goes on the podium, and begins to malign and speak the most worst things about ECL right in his presence. That's a man who doesn't like somebody. That's a man who doesn't like. And for the first time that ECL spoke to the press and the people, he said, there's so much hypocrisy. Which signified there were so many things that agreed upon with Rupia Banda, but somehow President HH was not following that. ECL called it hypocrisy. And ECL maintained that statement even when Edith Nawakwi died, even when there was memorial for Michael Chifiasata, the late. He said there's so much hypocrisy. He was clear that there's no way people who hated someone should bury that person. And you want the family to allow ECL's greatest enemy to bury him. President HH has said the ECL family could not have amassed any wealth according to his government. And they are going through the courts to this date. Because apparently, according to President HH and his government, ECL could not have any brain capacity to generate any decent wealth. And we're not even talking about billions of dollars here. We're talking about millions of kwacha. And this is the man that should be allowed to bury ECL. Your Honor, African culture refuses this. Spirituality refuses this. We can't put the family, the primarily lost people, the people who have primarily lost a member, to go through hell and to be like killing ECL all over again, to see HH as the enemy of ECL presiding over his burial. Or even just the UPND members and his government presiding over the funeral of ECL. It's impossible for the family to stomach that. And to have ECL's people that destroyed ECL's party, when Robert Chavinga and Ngona being recognized at that funeral, it would be further insult and injury to the legacy of ECL. No, Your Honor. Allow the family to do what is right and what is best for them, because they are the ones who are truly hurting. The UPND must suffer the consequences of their lack of reconciliation. So the trial for the body of ECL, whether it comes back here or we bury in South Africa, has been adjourned. And obviously, we've seen the desperation of the UPND government to have the body here. The one thing we know is that it's not anything about the dignifying of ECL. Clearly, it's about something else. And we can all speculate what that something else is, but it is what it is. We're praying the judges will make the right decision and that God can help us to maneuver this whole situation. As Namakao Mrs. Lumesi, I can't lie. I'm not perfect. I've got issues. I've got weaknesses. I'm just like every other human being, but more so, I admit that I'm not perfect. But one thing I do see that is we cannot continue.
Oh my goodness.